So we're moving right along. Here's our escapement bridge, the one with the 3 slotted screws. I have it in a plastic movement holder, and we're going to install those two uh, jewels right there. I'm going to put a smear of that synthetic oil on both of those. One of these is for the balance, the other is for the escape wheel itself. That's the one that's got a longer extension on it. So let's do the big one first. Drop that on. Are we in the shot? We're in the shot. Center it up. Okay. One screw and done. Okay, our other one. Everything was in the ultrasonic cleaner yesterday. Everything's nice and clean. Now this is for the what's that called? Oh my goodness. You know what it's called. I know what it's called, but I just forget right now. Escape wheel? Is that what it's called? I think so. It's focus. Focus, dummy. Okay. And I didn't drop the screw this time. Look at that. Isn't that nice? There we go. So that's done. This movement holder's nice. I can take this and flip it over. But before we do that, I want to oil the other side of that jewel. Make sure we have enough oil in there. It has this opening here for the gear to engage, and I'm going to come in there and it'll probably be out of the shot. Put oil on that. Actually, I'll definitely be out of the shot because I gotta come in. I gotta come in the long end here. Okay, now we can mount this back up in our holder, like so. Okay, now we're back in the shot. We're going to oil up all of these jewels right now. We got a little bit right there, and this will be for the balance and the pallet fork. There's the balance, there's the pallet fork, there's the escape wheel. Okay, now, first things first. What is first? Well, I'm thinking the escape wheel. How's that? Let's get it in the shot. Here's our escape wheel. And we're going to lay that in like so. I'm going to take a peek at the side. Make sure we're in that lower jewel. I think we are. I got to take it out of the shot and have a look. These are a little tricky. There's a little bit to it. And there should be a bridge that goes on that. And I believe this is it. Okay. See how that fell in there? That fell in beautifully. Now let me take my blower and blow that a little bit. Look at that little dust of air. Look at that spinning beautifully. That's a nice thing. I think we can assume everything's in its jewel properly. The only thing I'm missing is a screw. Here it is. There's our screw for the bridge. I'm not going to tighten that because I'm going to double check. Let's get the blower. A little bit of air across that. Look at that spin. A beautiful thing. If it didn't spin, we'd have a problem. Now that is tight, I'm going to put a bit of that clock oil on there. Synthetic clock oil. There we go. Now, back to the blower. Look at that. Just a wind. Tiny bit of wind, and that's blowing beautifully. Okay. Moving right along. We're going to turn this around so I can work it from this side. We're going to install the pallet fork. The lower jewel is oiled. Get our screw handy. Here's our pallet fork. Looks good. Our bridge has one screw and 2 pins. Let's gently lay that in. See if everything lined up. I think it did. I think I put that in splendidly. What's the audience think? I know. You get lucky sometimes. So there's this little guy. Let's drive him home. We don't have the luxury of having this gear train powered up because this is a different layout. So I'm going to give that a little tug there. I'm going to take this out of the movement, take my loop, check to see the staves are coming through the jewels on everything. Looks good. And then we can come back here and install the balance. And then this assembly will go into the completed movement when we put the gear train together. So tighten down on that. Everything's nice and free. Beautiful. Now let's do our balance. We're going to come in from this direction to engage the roll pin on the end of that pallet fork, and hopefully it'll be done in one easy movement. We hope. We won't be able to test this until we get the rest of the gear train installed, but some visual checks will confirm things. Let's take a look. That's got a nice little swing to it. Is it activating the fork? I think it is. Let's put a screw in there temporarily to keep it in place. I'm not gonna screw it in tight. Just enough so if anything is out of whack, it's not gonna screw anything up. I'm not gonna come down on it too tight. So I got some slop on that bridge. Now I can come in. I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to come in with my loop. See that the stone is in fact engaged. The roller pin, the roller stone, I guess you call it, is engaged on the pallet fork. And give it a wiggle. And if you look, you can see the pallet fork bouncing back and forth. So it is engaged. I'm going to make sure this is tight. Sound looks good. Look at that. I just barely touch it and it starts swinging back and forth. That's a good sign. I'm going to end this now. We're going to go in next to the gear train and wrap this up in a few more videos. So stay tuned.